We've been back to back. I don't have my Santa hat on today.
One right there. Oh, yes.
Here, well, we're here. We're festive. It's on. Let's go. We can. Hey, Lorna. Hey, Nina. Just got out of an incredible session. We're the speaker, but
Just
we're not.
pin us.
Okay.
There you go.
I've been a little back to back today, but that's what's exciting, right? When you do what you love in the service of people who love what you do, it can transform everything for you. And when you can be a time management ninja, I was literally, my client was like, oh, she was about to have like this big, huge breakthrough that she really needed to be able to do the things that she knows that she's out for effectively. And she's like, oh, we can do it at another time if that works better. I'm like, well, the time is now and you're here now. So let's do it now. And I believe that everything is going to work out in perfect time and it is all good. And wouldn't you know, we ended at exactly 5 p.m. So I do acknowledge we are 5-6 minutes behind. However, someone's life needed a shift and I'm super excited for her to be able to do that. So let's talk about this concept of time, right? Because not only are you going through this challenge, you're getting prepped, doing all the prep work, high five. I absolutely love seeing all of the videos, sharing your story, sharing who you are, what it is that you're up to. Some of you have had the most touching, like I've literally got my eyes a little watery at some of your videos. So I keep them coming. If you haven't done a video for day one, like we are keeping track, like everyone's getting points. And on the 24th, whoever goes through the assignments and does the things, you guys will get something, you'll get something special. So
something worth $555. So
yes.
That's something that's worth. Yeah. Been sold for
worth
thousands.
This is really itchy, but you guys get the point that I'm being festive and we're here. Okay.
There you go. Awesome. So, all right. How do you become a time management ninja? How are you able to actually somehow get all the things done, being able to, run your business in 2, 4, 5, really you get to choose how many hours you actually want to be putting into your business on a regular basis. You actually get to choose.
I think that's an important distinction because you hear a lot around time freedom and I just want all of this freedom for time. And, I'll be super authentic. Freedom for me is that I get that choice because I personally love working with clients. Like I don't want to work 2 hours a week or the 4-hour work week for me personally sounds terrible because I love doing what I do. And so for me, it seems very restricting to do that. For some people, that's amazing and that's great. And you can create the systems and it's totally possible. But I think for me anyway, freedom means choice and to be able to choose how much or how little you want to work and when you do that and where you do that and how you do that. That's freedom for me.
Yeah, so I think that we're going to start with, we had one client, her name was Kelly, and she was rocking her business, right? She was actually doing really well financially. And I said really well, like she's doing somewhere between $8,000 and $15,000 a month, kind of up and down depending on the month, which was really good for her. And she was working 80, 90 hours a week.
That is something that I would not choose.
I choose not to do that. And this is the thing. I remember on our call when she became a client, she said, like, we got to the end and she's like, I don't know if I need the client attraction process that you guys help build for your clients. And I don't think I don't know if I need the mindset, blind spots, energetics, getting yourself out of the only way. And I was like, if we just helped you create a leverage signature program, which now we call the True North program, would that be worth it to you? She's like, absolutely. Okay, cool. Give me your card number. Like she had to leave. She's like giving me card information as I'm like, she's like running out the door. She like had to go take her kid somewhere. And like, it made the difference to the point where she went from, $8,000 to $15,000 to $25,000 a month, but then now working 30 hours a week. So she was able to stay a third of the time that she was working and step back from that on top of that, she took like 3 vacations that month and was able to just really get her recreation and be able to vibe herself. The funny thing is then Holly ended up starting doing the energetics with her. And she ended up going 2 months after that, getting up to $50,000 a month. So being able to do that and the same 30 some hours a week, which I think is pretty good money, if you break it down in time for dollars. So that's pretty awesome. So let's talk about the program, like having something, and I'm curious on the people that are on here. Do you have a group program or are you doing one-on-one?
And if you're live or if you're watching the replay in the group, comment down too, so we can see, are you in a group situation? Are you doing one-on-one? What does that look like? And like, let's do an evaluation of your time and see where this is, because ultimately what we want to do is we want to give you some tools to be able to help you really manage your time and create something has some leverage for you, so you can have a life. And I know have it all for some people can be really overbearing, like, oh, have it all. Or it can be very empowering, like, how can you have it all? How can you, I see a lot of women on here, and women take on I feel like the home and the business and the family and all of the things on ourselves, right? I'm sure there's guys out there that do it too, and I know you to an extent, but there's just something with women and what we handle and what we put on our own plates of what we say that we needs to get done. So being able to have a system where I genuinely can have it all, right? We have a 3-year-old. It's super important to me that I have time with her and I'm present with her. I love having a clean house. I like my dishes clean. I know I'm kind of weird, but I like my dishes washed and my kitchen clean and like my house clean. By the time I go to sleep, I like reset the house. How do you handle your home? Handle your children? Chad and I, we do date night. We spend time and make sure that it's like not all business, but we are focused on our relationship. So how do you set up your life so that you can have it all? And first, I think it's important that you set up what things are important. Don't make your business the center of everything and then try to make time for what it is that is important, right? You get really distinguished on what those things are that you want to make sure that you have time for.
Yeah, and I want to go more into the program aspect, and then we'll get into the other 2 aspects. I have bullet points in my head, even though they're not.
Oh, okay. I'm suddenly telepathic. We're gonna flow with it. It's all good.
Awesome. So how can you create something that can handle a bunch of clients, can make a deep impact with them, that it doesn't have to be a launch cycle where you're having to launch every whatever, because this was what Kelly had, right? She had a situation where it was a launch model. I think she launched a group every certain amount, and then she would make a bunch of money. And then when they finished that group, it just moved into one-on-one. And so she was getting this bottleneck of after her program, and like, how does that work out? And she's running like 3 groups at once, and like, how do we make that work? So how do you create something that's leveraged that can handle a bunch of clients? One of the things you talked about building a course or an 8-week program. Like, how can you build those all in kind of one thing? It's like one of the things we talk about is like one, and this could be a time management thing, is like one program. We help our clients, because if you can't get one program to 6 figures, maybe even 7 figures, hey, no worries. Getting your one program to 6 figures and just focusing all your efforts in there, instead of having to launch a new program every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 12 weeks, every whatever, like that just takes a ton of time and energy. Why don't we just create something that's just open all the time, that can just have like enrollment, right? Like you can just enroll people whenever you want. So that's the number 1. Number 2 is having the things to do on a regular basis. So we have our Momentum Profit Plan.
We do have our Momentum Profit Plan. So knowing there's such a difference of like, okay, I have all these things to do, and maybe you have like clients that you're supposed to talk to, you're supposed to create content. Like, it's in theory in your head what the day is going to look like, and you get stuck scrolling through social media looking at other people's content. What are they posting? Should I post like that, or what do I need to be doing here? And then pretty soon it's like 5 o'clock and you haven't gotten anything done, and you're like, crap, that is not how I wanted my day to go.
Yeah.
It happens, and there's no wrong here. I know I've been there. There's definitely a time where I have been there, and that's why we created the Momentum Profit Plan. The Momentum Profit Plan is literally a checklist of everything that you get to do in a day that's going to bring your business into massive momentum. I am personally one, I love block timing and making things in blocks. So I put my day, I schedule my day according to meals because that's the easiest for me. And I acknowledge that everyone's planning is different. So I have a block in the morning, I have a block in the afternoon, and then I have a block in the evening. Right. And so I've set up the Momentum Profit Plan where literally if you do these things and you can stay focused, you can get the things that are going to make you money done in as little as 2 hours a day.
Yeah. And so if we break down the Momentum Profit Plan into 3 buckets, right? One is really filling up your cold bucket. How do you get new people that have no clue who you are? What do we need to do to reach new people? Then what do we need to do to nurture and build relationships and really connect and really connect with people on that in the middle area? And then what do we need to do to get people to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in what you offer? And then following up with people that you've already had your conversations with, that you've already booked calls with. How do you like going back and saying like, who's actually ready? Like being able to follow up with people like that. And so that's like the breakdown, like how do you, so, and then some people say time blocking, but not everybody knows what that means. So let me kind of just like, it's basically taking, I like to do sprints. I watched a TikTok that changed my life on cleaning, and I don't clean a lot, but when I do clean, I'm a machine because I don't like it. And this is exactly how it goes, is I set a timer for 15 minutes to clean my kitchen, and I just get as much done as I possibly can in that 15 minutes. So it's like using the timer on your phone to get as much done as you possibly can. And then I'm about 70% done. So I pretty much, I spend another maybe 10, 15 minutes to finish it. But just that small chunk time of committing to do that 15 minutes gets me in momentum and gets me started. And so if you do the exact same thing in your business, so it like might be, so like how he was saying is like splitting up your day. Okay, so maybe it's 15 minutes in the morning, or I like to do things that I don't enjoy, I make smaller blocks. Things that I enjoy longer, I can do longer. I might have some ADHD, so the smaller the blocks, the better. So even if I do 15 minutes, I become even more effective. So if I do a 15 minute and then take a 3-minute break and then another 15 minute and so on and so forth. But if you do 40 minutes, 3 blocks of 15, kind of broken up, or 45 or whatever in the morning, of like, all right, I'm going to start getting that cold marketing going. How do I start getting those new people? Then in the middle of the day, it might be nurturing. How do I nurture and build those relationships? How do I handle the objections? How do I build the authority? All those things. And then at the end of the day, it might be following up with people that are, ready to invest, that are ready to change their life, that are ready to really go to that next level with their business. And then maybe I throw up a post to get people to respond. So that could be your setup for that. The other thing is the energetic side of it. I believe if we're blocked and we have things in our way, it can take up so much of our time. Life, well, maybe you guys can jump in here, is in the sense of like, do you notice that like life can stop you from actually fulfilling on your calling? And it's like, how do you actually run your life instead of your like letting your life run you? It's like, how do you have your life actually empowering your business and empowering your calling instead of like fucking your calling?
That's pretty harsh. So I think there's life happens. That is inevitable. Like you guys can all agree, there is going to be something. We are on this roller coaster of life. And so often we can see that, all of these things start happening, disagreement with child's relationship stuff, family stuff, all of this stuff. It happens to all of us. It happens to Chad and I, and I'm sure I know it's happened to you. Like nobody is exempt from life, right? So how can you hold this space of, I had this huge breakthrough, I don't know, a couple months ago, and it literally transformed everything for me. It's like, how do you hold this duality of, it can be rainy and sunny at the same time. That's where we get rainbows, right? So like when things happen and life happens, how can we that's where the inner work and the energetics come in, of being able to hold the space for joy and for the things that are going right, and to hold the space for our clients, to be able to keep our creativity flowing so that we can continue to create. And so when bad things happen or life happens, we're not like, I just need to stop everything. I just have too much going on now. Like if this is a full-time thing for you and life happened, and again, depending on what kind of life we're talking about, sometimes it is serious and you need to just take a step back and recalibrate and do, whatever. I'm always for following alignment, and your own personal healing is so much, your well-being, mental well-being is more important than anything else in my book.
Yeah.
How do you hold both, right? Where it's not stopping you completely. There are things that can suck and we can still keep going, right? Like I had an argument with my son today. It's been on my mind all day, and I'm not going to let that stop me. I've been on client calls. I've been creating, I'm doing the things anyway. And so what has worked for me is honoring, okay, there's a frustration here. There's all sorts of things that I got going on here. And I'm just going to put this over here for right now so that I can serve my people. What do I need to serve my people? What do my people need? I found when you can actually when you lean in and you lean into the clients and you lean into the service and you lean into the impact, and you come from that place of how can I serve and get into your world? I feel it is so much more effective and keeps you in flow and keeps your energy alive to be able to keep moving forward, because it's not all about you and the things that you have going on and that you can't do this, but it's we can be in other people's world. And when we can get out of ourselves and into the other person, that's where we can really flourish. And time doesn't even seem to exist in those moments, right?
Yeah. And it becomes okay, there's death in the family, there is major health things that you need to take care of, and it's what kind of things are you allowing to actually take your space and take your energy, and it's I want to be the 5-year mark, or the 5-year rule is always a good rule, right? It's in 5 years, is this going to be a thing? Right? If you're allowing things in your life that if you look in 5 years, it's not even a blip on the radar, stop you from moving forward in your calling, it's not effective, right? And it's how do we become powerful, empowered in our own life, and so secure and grounded that, I remember we had, I think our own, well, I'll tell a story of how we got here. So Holly and I lived in Michigan, and we got a notification on our door that we were being evicted.
Not because we couldn't pay our rent.
But because our dog, that you can hear barking at ducks.
I'm sure you can't hear him, but there's ducks and he's a dog. And
yeah. So anyways, the neighbor didn't like the dog barking, and so we got a notification that we were being evicted.
Or get rid of the dog. We chose to keep the dog. And she's my bestie.
30 days to get out. So some people would turn into victim mode and go, oh my God, this is so terrible. And oh, I gotta find a place and whatever. What we chose was we're gonna have an event. We're going to have an event, and we are going to make this the most successful event that we ever have. And up until that point, it was the most successful event we ever had. We ended up doing $50,000 in signed clients. That was the first time we ever did that. And I remember doing sales calls. They were like the people coming to like pack up the stuff to take it out to the car, and I'm in the call, like in the room, like to getting clients. And but it's like you
And we
get
made
to
it fun.
choose.
We were like, okay, so we got evicted. Let's go move to Florida. Like, we've always wanted to live in Florida. We love it in Florida. We don't like Michigan. We're only here for other people. Like, let's go take this opportunity and lean into it and go make it freaking magic happen.
Yeah.
And we did. And now we live in this beautiful home right in the water next to a state park. My dog can bark at ducks all he wants because everyone else has a dog too, and they're all friends. I feel like they're that movie where the dogs are talking to each other. I feel like that's actually what's happening. They're not just barking. It's just me, I'm just saying. And so when these things happen into our life, they don't have to stop us. And I think the biggest thing that, you know, if you guys are interested, is to give you the momentum profit plan where you have this checklist, because when you have the checklist next to you, it can transform everything. Like, oh, this is what I need to be doing. Boom, 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 boom. Nina, I acknowledge you. I know that that is not easy to go. And I just acknowledge you for being able to see the energy gaps and do what you needed to do, because there are people who will drain our energy, and there are, when people don't believe in us, or they're always giving drama, or there's always drama around these people. There's always something going on. Like, those are sometimes we do have to let go of the people. So I just acknowledge you, and big hugs, because I know that's not always easy to do. And it can, I've definitely had to let go of people in my past as well. And still, like, your energy is the number one thing. Like, your energy and your mental wealth is like the number one things, because it affects your physical health, right? It's all intertwined together and causes the disease. So that's number one. So if you guys are interested, well, let me ask you guys, would you guys be interested if we give you this checklist, those momentum profit plan? It's literally a checklist of everything that you need to do on a daily basis, right? We'll show you exactly. Now, I will say, as clients, we're huge on alignment. So we create this with our clients that is more customized to them and their soul gifts and who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. So everyone's does look a little different. We made like a master one, so to speak, of all of the things to do and put it in there so you can get all of the income producing activities done in as little as 2 hours less. Would that be helpful for you guys? Yes, for sure. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Now I'm going to give you this checklist. I want you guys to keep, like, this is part of the 50K by Christmas, is to start doing this checklist and keep showing up, making the time to show up to these pre-trainings. And then we're going to do our live event on October 24th. You're going to get a lot more than just the checklist, right? Because we all know we can give you the how-tos, but it's not always the how-tos that you need. So I want to make sure that you guys have everything. So make sure, you know, for everyone on here, awesome. Thank you. We're going to keep moving with this. And now this is the to-dos of like, okay, how do you get this 50K by Christmas? You schedule your time, like schedule it in your calendar. So we're going to give you the momentum profit plan. In that momentum profit plan, there's just like a short little training on how to use it. And then there's a download. It's literally a checklist where you can check these things off Monday through Friday. I think there's a place for Saturday or Sunday if you want to do that too. But start implementing this throughout this series. Right? How are you going to get to 50K by Christmas? It's going to take strategy and the energetics, right? It's the how-to and the actions, plus all of the energetics in between. So there's more to this than just the how-to that we're going to give you. Chad is pulling up the link now. He's going to put it in the chat, and on Facebook, he will put it on the chat underneath. So go ahead and, excuse me, get that. And that is your homework assignment. So for your homework, to show that you have done this, download the checklist. If you want to like screenshot it on your phone, or if you print it out and you have it next to you. I created this checklist for myself back in 2016. I started having a checklist. I was true coach at that time. I even had a clipboard. I didn't have a whistle. Should have had a whistle. But I had it on a clipboard. I had it right next to my computer. And every day I sat down and was like, okay, build cold market, make new friends, check. So I literally had it printed out right next to me. So I knew exactly when I sat down, exactly what I needed to do. Now I have it so ingrained because I've been doing this since 2013, but I created the checklist for myself in around 2016. So we'll be giving that to you guys. Screenshot it, take a picture of it, you have it printed out, post it in the group,
And for the people that haven't registered, if you're watching this on the replay, or even if you're on, you snuck on somehow, and you're not registered for the 50K by Christmas, I'll be dropping the link in the comments and then in the,
And the reason why we're having you register is our system, how it picks up, that's how we're keeping track of all of the points. And for people who are doing this, if there's, you know, if you feel led, if you have a coach and you're like, oh my gosh, this would be so valuable for you. I know that you're out to do this too. They just gave us a whole checklist of everything that we need to do. They kind of bring in the energy and the strategy of things. You know, share it for them. We have a special thing going on that if you bring 10 people to this challenge, we're going to invite you, we're going to do a full breakdown for our clients after this challenge is over on how we created this event and how to create one for yourself. We will invite you to that. So if you want more information around that, message Chad or me and we can get you an affiliate for this. Also, if anyone signs up, we can make it a win for you as well. So on that note.
so I got a thing that
On that note, I am going to end this and go check the tech for the Momentum Profit Plan to make sure that this is effective and it works for you guys. So give me 10 minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes, and I will have that fixed. So I appreciate you guys. I will go fix that link right now. I have to jump as well. So go ahead and I'll shoot a message in the Coaches for Transformation and let you guys know that that is fixed, but literally it only takes 10-15 minutes. I already know what's going on with it. So I appreciate you. Go do your homework. Hopefully this was helpful for all of you guys, and I will see your screenshots and stuff in the group.
Bye
Bye for now.